Welcome to SOS Stories of Survivors. I'm your host, Serina Dansker, and I am so lucky to have three amazing friends here with me today. I call them the Brotherhood because they've been friends for so long, and they have so much to share about what it means to have friends for a lifetime that help them through some of life's hardest times. Joining me today are Sean, Mike, and John. And starting off, he's going to tell us a little bit about himself, is Mike.
Mike. Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm a retired physical therapist, and I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Sean.
So I thought we were here to talk about football. Sean. Hello. It's always a pleasure to be around these guys. I am retired, disabled, and working on a comeback. How's that sound?
That sounds awesome.
John.
That's good. Hi, everyone. I'm John. I'm also a physical therapist, and I've got a wife, 3 kids, and a beautiful granddaughter.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, I'm grateful to each of you for being here today. And I'd just like to start off by maybe having someone describe what your friendship is in one word.
I would say comfortable, comfort.
Sean?
I will go with it. We've been friends for so long. It's one of those things that I don't know the difference between girls' friendships, guys' friendships. Basically, guys aren't as huggy, touchy all the time. Our friendship, I would say, is foundational.
Ooh.
Because it's one of those things. It's always there. You don't see it all the time. You're not constantly aware. Foundational. You know it's there, and it's holding up everything.
I love that. Mike?
I think levity, light, kind of friendship. Most of the times, the good way people help me out is to like being lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
I like a good time. We like laughs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like to say it was comfortable because I can just be myself around these guys. Always have been. They know me since I've been a kid, elementary school.
Well, yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Take us back, John. You started. How did your friendship first begin, and when did you realize it was more than just like a peripheral friendship?
Well, Mike and I got in a fight on the playground.
See, since the beginning.
Since the beginning, the first time I met Mike, I think I cut in front of him online, coming home from recess, and we got in a little bit of a scuffle, and we started going at it, and we both stopped and realized we better be friends because we're going to hurt each other. And since then, this was 4th grade, I think. Since then,
wow.
we've been good friends since then.
Can I add something?
Yes.
We actually got sent to the principal's office, I believe. We were sitting in the principal on the front waiting for Mr. Shark or Yansos or whatever the guy to come out, and him and I were talking, and John's like, look, man, if we get in trouble and you miss your bus, come to my house. We'll come to my house. So the principal comes out and says, I thought you guys were fighting. Well, not really. You guys are going to go to each other's house? And I think a short time after, we went to your house, and your grandfather gave us the old boxing gloves.
Yes.
And
yes.
Really?
We boxed it out.
Did
Boxing
you get
gloves.
out?
Yeah, we have boxing gloves with a thumb still in it from the 1950s.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And he sat up on the deck taunting us
Yeah.
while we were.
yeah, whatever you do, don't hit each other in the head. What is the first thing we do? We go,
Oh, no, what'll happen if I do that?
And Sean and I would carpool back and forth to CCD classes, religious class. And I think I jumped out of his mom's car, right? The back of the car, the station wagon. And yeah, we were.
Well, that's the only reason it has station wagons. You have a quick exit.
That's so fun.
But we've known each other forever too, since elementary school.
Yeah, and a lot of our families, and we all have brothers and sisters, which they also have relationships, and we have relationships with each other's brothers and sisters. So it's a multi-layered relationship. Really, it is. It's joyous. It's there. People that you love being around, and it is a lot about laughter.
the word organic comes to like mind. Like the way we all connected was like organic. You know, we were all guy friends together, and then our wives were friends together, and then our wives, and you know, everyone was friends. So it was nothing really planned. It just seemed to happen by, you know, John and I were talking on the way here that, you know, in order to have friends, you gotta do some work.
Yes.
It just doesn't happen, right? So you got to be a good friend to keep good friends. So
That's amazing. And you know, every friendship, a lot of times you have childhood friends, but your friendship has spanned decades, and quite frankly, I don't want to put how old you guys are, but you're getting up there, and it's almost half a century of friendship, and that's
It's only,
We're all
when you
too
put it
lazy
that
to
way,
find
I don't want to say
new
you're old or anything, but half a century is a long time. I mean, rocks don't even live that long.
So how do you show up for each other on a daily basis, or just because life gets busy, and it's not really just showing up when each other, when you need some help? How do you reconnect with your friendship when you're working, or you're busy, or you're with grandkids, or you're retired, or you're ill?
I think you just reach out whenever it is. There's an event going on. I just got a hold of both these guys because of the Oktoberfest. Said, hey, let's get together. You haven't seen each other. Here's something we could do to get together, and just to be together. And it gives you a chance then to talk.
Yes.
See what's going on in their lives. And if it's something a little more serious, we'll make a phone call later on to talk about that. If it's
But generally, you try to do 10 of the good things,
Right.
10 of the fun things. You say, hey, you keep things going. You give a big hug. All right. It's like, then if you do those 10 things, then you're prepared. Something bad happens. It's like, hey, well, you know what? We've talked over the last 2 years. Instead of like, I haven't talked to that guy in 5 years. Now I'm going to call and tell him about my bunions.
There's no
You know what? I think as I've gotten older, though, I'm more prone to, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to go. Let's live for. But when it comes to friends, organizing anything, Halloween parties, birthday, godparents' day, all these things are like real things. You make the effort to go. When I was younger, I would, hey, you want to go to the 7-Eleven? Yeah, I'll go. And now I'm older. I'm like, no. I'm kind of happy where I'm doing my thing. But, it is always a blast. Like, no matter how tired or how hard or like, some of us are habitually late,
Right.
no matter how habitually late people are, everyone still loves you.
Right. But when I know that, Sean just needed some physical therapy, Mike, and reached out to you. And I know that without a moment's hesitation, even though you were in the process of retiring, you were there.
That's a gift. That's an absolute gift to be able to do something. I had a conversation outside before with the organizer, and we were talking about the gift is finding a career or a job that satisfies your need to connect with people. So the ability to work with people is a great gift. And to be able to help work with your friends is even a better gift. It's sometimes hard to work with your wife because you're so close.
Right, of course.
But
what's something one of your friends did for you that you'll never forget?
So a long time ago, when I was like I was in a career I was not happy with, and I was pretty much having like a meltdown. A friend of mine recommended a career that seemed outrageous and seemed like really way too hard. And I threw myself at it and got shot down right out of the box. Like, no, I didn't get accepted into grad school for this job as a physical therapist. And that was John.
Wow.
John was the one who actually turned me that way. And I think he remembers that even after the first year that, I didn't get in, I didn't stop.
Right.
I started taking more courses, getting more signed up. And John used to call me Rudy, from the guy in Notre Dame who just didn't give up.
Wow.
And that's where I am now.
That's
there was some gratitude for that.
That's amazing. John,
Thank you, Mike.
how does that make you feel?
I didn't know. You don't know the impact you have on somebody.
That's true.
I just say, hey, Mike, I like what I do.
Yeah.
I work with people, I get paid for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like work a lot of the time.
Oh.
And so I was able to, and interesting enough, now Mike and I have been friends since 4th grade. Mike became a physical therapist, and I got him a job in the same school that I work in.
Wow.
And we had our desks next to each other. It's like being back in 4th grade.
So then they got the boxing gloves.
You know why I switched seats? Because we're not allowed to sit next to each other. Even at work, they would say, you guys, 2 different offices.
Oh my God. All right. So Sean, how is being friends with these guys change the kind of person you are. Or
I want to actually
Yeah.
go back to
Oh, yeah.
that thing for
go
one
go
second.
back. Yeah.
'Cause they're talking about physical therapy, and you said, what has someone done for you?
Yeah.
And Mike did something for me recently
Oh.
when I had pain. So I have a lot of different pains that literally keep me in bed sometimes for a month out of the year.
Oh, I'm
I
so
can't
sorry.
walk.
Oh.
My wife hears me. She's in another room, and I get up out of bed and I literally scream
Mm.
because of the arthritis. And so I went to see Mike. All
Right.
right. So putting myself in his hands, he actually, aside from the fact that I've heard, that he's great and all that, I've never done physical therapy. A lot of guys, you don't want to go to doctors. I've been to too many doctors. And anyway, so I go to doctors, but you don't want to go to doctors. You don't want to go to physical therapy. You don't want to do
Yeah.
these things. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call Mike because I've heard terrible things about John. Yeah. But so I called Mike up, and Mike said he would be willing to see me. And so, he's working on me, he's doing this stuff. And it really was like a miracle. And Mike, so I was very thankful and very open. I was communicating maybe like females communicate.
Oh.
I was just going, oh my, I can't believe it. I can walk again. But can I mention about
Sure.
what when I started seeing him, he said, yeah, I might not be doing this for much longer. I may be dropping this and becoming a lawyer.
Wow.
And it's not that I wasn't, so I was like, oh, well, something else to do, this
Right.
you've been
Life
doing this for a
change,
long time or whatever. And basically one day after he helped me walk again without screaming,
Wow.
I don't know if I called you up but basically I said, Mike, it's like you have a real gift.
Yeah.
So aside from your education, your knowledge, your abilities, you have some sort of innate gift that actually allows you to heal people. I said, and frankly, the world will be losing something important if you go and become a D-bag lawyer of any kind. So really, don't be an a-hole. Is that clean enough? And keep healing people.
It's you
So-
bring up a really good point because
Ooh.
you say about how you act like the women or whatever. I find that guys are not supposed to show emotion, or that's how you've been raised, but yet you shoulder all the problems of your family. You carry the weight of the world on you. And how do you work through that if you can't just cry sometimes, because it's overwhelming? And how does being friends with one another help you deal with that?
Well, we all watch It's a Wonderful Life together. We cry at the end.
That's a sad son.
Well, it's happy tears.
But did you guys grow up with this message to be strong and not show feelings?
Yes, I did. My father, we used to shake hands. Hey, and he would shake my hand. And I don't think I hugged him until I was about 30 years old.
Wow.
And it was just, that's how it was. For me growing up, you were just supposed to be tough.
But you
and
hugged your friends.
I hugged my friends, and interesting enough, I hugged my father-in-law not my father-in-law, my brother-in-law's father would always hug us.
Oh.
And I would go to a party at his house, he'd hug us, and my father would shake my hand, and then my father realized maybe I should be hugging him too. So I started hugging my dad.
Wow.
And now it's an everyday thing, and I tell him I love him, and we share that.
I think that's
And
so awesome.
It is. And I always say that. I love you, Dad. I love you. And he says it too, but it took a while.
Well, because he grew up like that as well.
He grew
I'm
up,
sure.
that was his upbringing.
What about you, Mike?
What's the question again?
Did you grow up, being
no.
taught not to?
No, that's right. I had a really strong thought about this, actually. The way I deal with it and with these is through like movement and spending time with people. I don't believe I'm as
Huggy feely.
verbose as other people with emotion,
Mm.
but that not that I'm any less emotional.
Right.
And as we're, certain people would say, let's get together and have a big cry fest. I would go for a walk or a bike ride, or believe it or not, work on my friend at PT. I'm like, I can't wait till Sean gets in here. I'm gonna tell him all about my problems. What his problem?
I'm going to start charging him.
He's like, my foot's sit down, I got you. Listen, I'm going through this shit at home, and then it's the identifying of the problem or the gift or the gratitude between each other that solves that emotional problem. So it's almost unnerving for someone to say, I'm so sorry for you. Oh, I'm so sorry for it. It just doesn't work well with me. I'd sooner walk around the block and talk to them about the world,
Right.
and then do something. And if you're gonna be that, be what you say. Gandhi said, be that change.
Yeah.
Right. So
I love that.
hearing stuff is like makes me what I am.
Mm. Sean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I thought that it was very insightful. So, but the thing is, I mean, I still do think, aside from like, oh, we were raised to be tough, and
Mhm.
I mean, to an extent, but our parents grew up the way they grew up. I don't. I'm a very emotional person, but I don't ever feel the desire to like call up these guys or another one of our friends and like just talk about emotional stuff. I mean, I know some people do that. I never feel that I got to do that.
But they're there for
I know
you.
they're there. They're part of the foundation. It's like with your family is together. They're part of the foundation. Your belief system, that's a part of the foundation.
So if you're going through
So they're
something,
there, yeah.
would you reach out?
Well,
you did,
It
actually.
depends. Yeah. Well, it depends on what it is. But I mean, when you're having emotional thoughts or whatever, it's like, I said, hey, Mike, this is really bothering me. You looked at me when I said something the other day,
Yes.
and you gave me the side eye, and
You didn't let my purple dress, and you gave me.
I do have to say one thing. You guys, you can cut it if you want to, but I have to say it the way it was said to me in order for it to be impactful. But John's talking about he didn't hug his. Now we didn't hug each other in junior high and high school. And then maybe in college, if we haven't seen it, say, hey, what's up,
Yeah.
And it's bam, but it's like it
Side
will hurt
hug,
you.
yeah.
It'll hurt you.
Yeah.
Hey,
This is John. He's like stoned. Like he slaps you with the hard fingers. Like ow.
But we do now. It's like, and also there have been many times we haven't seen each other for a long time, and it's like it's like the hand and it's a wrap. But so one time, it was when I was after college. I was working and all that, and one time when my dad was getting older, and he's out working on his plant, and I said, "I love you, Dad," and he said, "Oh, go fuck yourself."
That's a lesson.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, yeah.
That's great.
I
That's
I
great.
think maybe he wanted to see it
Yeah.
more than be told it.
You-
You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Tell me if this observation strikes a bell that, I have younger girls now, and I've learned recently that a lot of times it's just listening.
Yes.
They have problems. It's listening. It's not identifying, and it's not trying to
don't
solve.
Exactly. That's you just
Where if I'm sick and I need help and I call John or Sean, they're all about problem solving. What
Yes.
can I do to fix it? Right. And you can do this to fix it.
Interesting.
So
Guys are wired
to do that.
Not that guys don't make problems, but so if you tell us a problem, we're about problem solving. Girls are like,
They'd rather
Don't
talk
solve my
about it.
problem. No, I don't
so I'm
want
like,
you to
why are
solve
you
it.
telling me that?
Well,
Don't tell me.
try to do twin girls, right? And they're both trying to explain to you while that, it's actually a funny story. Like in my world, sometimes I talk about, treat life, take it easy, right? Walk quietly, carry a big stick, but wear life like a loose garment, be comfortable. So to the girls, I said, they're all panicking over something. I'm like, girls, you got to live life and wear life like a loose clothing. The two of them got on me and said, Dad, what's with you and our tight clothing? We're so sick and tired. And it was a good 10 or 15 minutes before I could get a word in because they thought misinterpretation of what, and then
But that's girls. So
yeah.
that's what girls do. We will analyze every little word, every inflection, every word and every inflection that is said. And sometimes we totally blow it out of proportion. And
Whatever.
it's-
As opposed to whatever.
Yes. Well, that's exactly right. And we do. And so I don't envy you to have two 15, 16-year-old girls because you're in the thick of it. And
It's a gift.
but this too will pass.
I think I'm becoming better because of it.
Well, and as they say, God doesn't always give you what you want. Sometimes God gives you what you need. And let's like talk a little bit about how your ideas and how your friendship has changed as you've grown older.
Mike, me or you?
No, I'm just
you-
fixing the cord. Have a
Sean,
little
you
technical
start. You're the
difficulty.
youngest.
Wait, no, who's
All
getting older?
You're half a century. We've been knowing each other.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you just become more and more familiar, and we all know each other's lives. We started when we had no stories.
Mhm.
All right, when we became friends, we had no stories. Like, I'm a kid going to CCD, and then I'll go to school next week, and then we'll go to CCD. I mean, we had no stories. Now we've all sort of literally come up together.
Yes.
You know, watched every moment of it. That, you know, John's family, Mike's family, and frankly, our
Extended.
our other extended families. And, you know, I can talk about your mom, and hey, we saw your mom in church, and blah 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 blah. And so, I mean, you know, it just gets closer, more familiar, more comfortable, because there is no second guessing.
Mm,
I guess there's no what did he mean by that.
right.
That doesn't exist.
Right,
Uh,
right.
I don't know if any guy has ever said that. What did he mean by that? I mean, I don't know if any guy has ever said that. But we certainly don't. We're like, I know what he meant by that.
part of being comfortable with each other. We know each other so well that it's and I think we're all happy that we're still alive. We're
frankly surprised.
We look at each other like, wow, man, thank God you're still with us.
And a little bit
Sean,
surprised.
Sean with what he had going on. It really is amazing.
Oh, but also stuff we did in college.
Stuff we did, right?
We're like, that's really. I know someone in this room who said, "I'm really surprised that we're all still alive," and it's not from cancer or
no, we were.
Yes.
We did a lot
things
of
that were done voluntarily.
crazy stuff. A lot of crazy
You were
stuff.
invincible.
And we were
Yes.
invincible, and
Confident.
we got through it, and now it's just joyful to see each other.
Mm.
Hey, we're still here. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, how do you, when you think back in times, and can you think of a time of where you didn't know how to help a friend that was going through something? Because your group of friends is more than just the three of you. It's a little bit broader. And if you think back, you know, did just being present make the difference? What do you think?
Yeah, I fortunately have a lot of gratitude in my life, and I said to Mike a few weeks ago when we were getting ready for this show, I said, Mike, I feel bad. I don't have any trauma in my life. I feel so blessed. I haven't really had it. He said, John, you've got a story. You have stuff that goes on. So because I'm thinking, how can I really help that person? I haven't had that experience. But he said, no, you do.
Yes.
And you have just being present and being around and listening when he had some things to talk about.
Yeah.
Made a big difference. So
It's hard. You know, we all have friends that have gone through some really difficult things in their lives, losing spouses or suffering through cancer. And like you say, you can't fix it. You guys want to fix it and you can't. But by holding space.
You know, back to your original question
Yeah.
when you said, you know, was there a time that you felt, you know, one of my dearest friends, and this could be for anyone, lost someone very close to them, made no sense of losing this person.
Right.
And you look and say, how can I help?
Right.
And the only way I thought was just to be there.
Yes.
to contact, to be there. You know, everyone's around you right away at the time of the trauma, and it's the
Yes.
people who stay afterwards that will call you and check in with you and understand your shortcomings if when you have
Yes.
them.
Of
That
course, we all have them. We're not perfect.
that's how you help your friend who
Yeah.
had some distress.
And,
And
people don't necessarily know what will help them.
Right.
You don't know what to do.
No.
And they don't know
What they
what
need.
will help. Because
Yeah.
frankly, nothing will help.
Right.
So all you can do is try.
Yeah.
And, but,
And
but
if you have some relationship,
yes.
then you're in a position to be able to.
Or to
try to
add
do that.
levity, you know, to in some way make it a little bit, make them forget for a moment and laugh and enjoy and remember what life is really all about, and that's enjoyment and spending time with each other and the people you love, because in the end, that's really what matters the most. I'm getting all mushy. Okay, let's add one more little question, then we're going to move on. What's one thing you wish more men understood about vulnerability and friendship?
nothing.
I have no idea. You're gonna say next.
I discussed this with John on the way down here because we were trying to figure out, you know, the idea of vulnerability tends to lead to feeling helpless, and if you address that helplessness, or you identify with it or add energy to it, you can get caught in this remorse, or you could be a person of action. And so vulnerable is, I'm open to suggestion, I'm open to, but I would prefer to problem solve and fix the problem and work towards it, as opposed to, and it's not, I'm not a psychologist, certain people believe you need to have pain and sit in it and go through it and let it and then you can come. You know what, mine is a little different, I think.
Okay, and you're entitled to that.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But also, just the term vulnerability, expressing vulnerability, it's a very squishy modern thing.
Does it threaten your
where
manhood?
You can just say honest.
Okay. Yes.
You don't need to use squishy, psychological, terminology that wants to force you to be someone that you're not. You can just say honest.
Okay.
You can
I like
say
that.
you
Raw,
can say
honest.
thoughtful. Yeah.
Yes.
You don't need to
go there.
We
Okay.
don't. I don't think guys go like, oh, let me. You know what? I'm going to talk to this person. Let me use all of the squishy. It's
Okay.
really just about being
Fair.
honest, being transparent.
Good.
So you decide who you're going to be sharing and honest with. Not that you be dishonest
No,
with
of
other people,
course.
but it's like you tell certain people certain honesties, and you keep. So this person I talk about that much of my life with.
Right.
This person I talk about all of it with.
Right,
So
right.
it's not about expressing vulnerability. It's just, I think for guys it's more about less squishy and more just honest and forthcoming.
Well, those CCD classes did have an effect. My what I like to
They were
share.
good.
Well, my parents have shared their faith with me, and that is something that I try to put out there to
Okay,
somebody
yeah.
who's undergoing, because my faith has helped me immensely, sustain me, and I
Amen.
think, and I don't. It is a matter of feeling vulnerable, but I can let go of trying to fix stuff. I'm like, okay, God,
Yes.
Yeah.
I surrender.
I
right?
surrender. Help me out here. And I know that I can't just do it on my own. I don't even try. Right. My work is not to try to do it on my own, because God is always with us.
It's,
Yeah.
and
He's
it's bigger
holding
than
us.
you. Yes.
Oh, he's holding us up. And I've
That's powerful.
got
Wow.
a couple of great examples
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, so when I was 27, I was going to take a trip around the world.
Yeah.
And I was on a men's retreat a week before I was leaving, and it was a sleepover, and I'm sleeping literally
bad
on the
idea.
altar at Church of the Presentation, and I'm just saying a prayer. I was in there all by myself, and I was just saying a prayer, like I'm going around. All of a sudden, I became nervous and felt vulnerable. I'm like, am I crazy? I'm going to go around the world by myself, and as I was praying, I had this vision of my father picking me up when I was a 3-year-old. So imagine my two older brothers chasing me because I took their toy. When you're 3 years old, you think your brothers are going to kill you. You feel like you're running for your life. And I was at peace. My father picked me up, and my brothers were running down like sharks. And I felt totally at peace. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm thinking, why did I just have this beautiful vision of being supportive of my dad? And I rolled over it on my back, and there's the crucifix. And I'm like, oh my God. And I felt like I was being held.
Aww.
And that was the answer. It's like, I'm going to be okay.
That's amazing.
I'm going to be okay. So I go back to that often, like I'm being held.
Yeah, that's
Just
beautiful.
remember, you don't have to fix stuff. You don't have to do things on your own.
Yes.
Yeah, call your friends, but if you have your faith too,
that's amazing, and that's so beautiful. And I have to say, I can relate more. I wasn't always. I always had religion in my life, but I wasn't always a practicing Catholic. And since my son's passed, I've become much more spiritual, but also much more open, where I'm able to let go and surrender and just give up, because there are things that are just beyond me that I can't control. And it's a hard lesson to let go. It really is. And that's great, John.
It's something you have to just practice every day.
Yeah.
Just, okay. And you work on it, and
Wow.
It does you become more,
Oh, man.
closer.
What would, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, the one before life got complicated, what would you say?
That's tough, because life gets complicated when you graduate high school, and then you graduate college, and then you get every chapter of your life was complicated.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like one in particular is,
But what would you give like this young version of yourself advice for to carry through life? Or maybe you were given some advice.
So I come from a world where I do believe in the higher power, and everything that I incurred made me who I am.
I love that.
So do I want to take away, something that made me who I am? Do I want to take away the experience of being in the back of the barn drinking Boone's Farm with a bunch of guys on a muddy hill? No. I'm not proud of it.
In February.
I don't want to, there's many, many things that I think I would spoil myself if I told myself to be different than what I was.
That's beautiful. I love that. I do.
You know what's funny about that?
You.
I have to do it. So it's kind of like, it's going to be, it's going to be.
Well, you do you. I mean, I say that a lot more now than I ever have in my life, but I mean that from my heart. It's, don't change. You do you. And maybe that's what you would tell your younger self. You do you.
I
Don't
would say,
change.
don't wear hats. Try to be kind to your scalp. Feed that
As soon
hair.
as that road game comes out,
Right. Spend the money, Mike. Don't be a cheapskate.
yeah. But also, your younger self would have been your younger self and say, "Who the hell's that old guy? He doesn't know a damn thing."
My younger
Because
self is a
people try to
girl
tell
and's
him
got
everything
red
that
curly
he
hair,
knows.
and she lives in my house.
So funny. Oh my
I
gosh.
just want to make a point about what you guys were talking about,
Yeah.
the religion. And it's like, I've always been a Christian. I'm just not a good Christian. So I've got, but I've got a lot of
I
potential.
take umbrage with that. There's no such thing as a
I've got
good
a lot
Christian.
of potential. Okay. But when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, kidney cancer, the prognosis was not good. And one of the things that just made me feel better and like everything's going to be okay was basically, I don't know why, I just automatically, I never prayed to get better or prayed for some kind of a solution. I just started thanking God about everything all day long. God, thank you for that squirrel.
Oh.
Thanks for letting me see that squirrel. Eat that nut and knock it out of it and grab the nut again. It's like, that's beautiful. And it just sort of calmed me. And there's something about it. And then he gave me a miracle. But it's like, also, it's good to be near the best cancer hospitals in the world. But those cures come from somewhere.
They
So,
do.
you
They
know.
do. And it's amazing that you have that.
And I'm still thankful
right.
every day, all the time.
That's beautiful, Sean. Really, that's just amazing. And I start every day with gratitude. I just am grateful for all of the blessings in my life.
Yeah.
You know?
We're all so blessed. If we're sitting here in America today with the ability to do this
Yeah.
and not walking somewhere with all of our belongings on our back,
Yeah.
or being put into, some kind of sex slavery,
Yeah.
having our family taken
Yeah.
from us. We are so blessed.
Yeah.
We had better remember it
That's
every day,
and
every minute of every day.
so would you say that you've gotten more resilient as you guys have gotten older? And what does that mean to you? What is that a squishy word?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna say physically a lot less resilient, notably less resilient.
Especially in the liver compartment.
Right. Well, we don't want to know about that.
You don't have to worry about it. Yeah,
No,
don't
I
need it.
actually had a test and mine's okay.
He's okay?
Okay, good,
I had the
good.
special test.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's good.
Mine survived too.
Yeah.
Mine's gonna be okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to take care of myself, and I feel like I am more resilient because
And
I'm
you're succeeding
smarter.
at it.
I'm smarter. I'm just trying to be out there because bring back to the book, How Not to Die. Right?
Oh, tell me about this
There's a
book.
book, How Not to Die.
Really?
Yeah, and it's basically about nutrition and how you can avoid a lot of the diseases we have in America, the standard American diet versus eating more whole foods and
Yeah.
things like that. And I've made the change about 2 years ago.
Wow.
And
How's that going?
well, it's going well. Prostate cancer runs in my family.
Okay.
Grandfather, father, two
Really?
brothers. It's just a matter of time. It's me.
Right.
And then my numbers were creeping up, and now they've crept back down.
God
because-
bless. That's awesome.
Just because of just making some changes. So I want to be around to play volleyball with my granddaughter
Oh, I love that.
and the other grandkids. My son just had field day. We celebrated his 27th birthday last week out in Colorado. And he had
Aw.
field day. I said, I love field day. And he meant field day for his friends, but I jumped right in there because I could, because I've been,
Because you've been taking care
I
of
want to
yourself.
take care of myself so I can play those games. And
Aw.
so, yeah, and just being smarter, try not to party so much.
Yeah, I love
Lord.
that. What do you, or how do you protect your peace when life gets heavy?
Your peace?
My peace.
Well,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, your serenity.
Yeah. How do you, there's a lot going on in this world and in personal lives. And how do you maintain that sense of, I can only, I can't control everything. I can only control my reaction to things.
Turn off the news.
Yeah. Okay,
Turn
good.
off the news.
Don't
And
get excited.
Don't get excited. I do pray
Yeah,
a lot,
I like
and
that.
I do. I will go to mass every week, and that that's like bring me back
Hmm.
to myself. Where the world out here is loud and noisy, and
Yes.
distractions everywhere, and then I could go there and sit for an hour,
That's- yeah.
quietly saying thank you, and remembering everything that we have and how lucky and blessed that we are.
That's big for your mental wellness. I mean,
That's-
faith, family, community.
It's a reset.
Yes, it's a reset. Perfect.
Yeah, it's a great way to reset. What message would you give to men listening who feel alone or maybe ashamed to reach out and ask for help?
You feel vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm vulnerable. Thank you. You bum.
I really think what worked here and for us is like, and you touched a little bit on it, was increasing spirituality. I was going to say, like you said, you're a bad Christian. There are no bad Christians. Like,
Right.
Religion dogma is religion, and spirituality can be different. You can believe in higher power, God. You can follow any of the religious texts, but the idea is, do no harm
Yeah.
and be the best version of yourself you can be. I want to be that person my dog thinks I am. You
Right,
come in the door,
right.
dog's like, wow, it's you again. I can't believe you're back.
If only our wives would think of us that
We
way.
almost got a freak.
Right?
But if there was-
You guys know what to do with that.
that's the joke that says, what's the difference between when you leave the dog in the garage for 5 minutes versus your wife? The dog's happy to see you. when you-
Oh,
No,
we
the one
could-
thing I want people to take is that I think as you grow older and wiser, I think everyone should continue to explore spiritualism. Find out whatever brings you together. Everyone wants contact. I think there is some sort of magic or vibration or higher power that does bring everyone together that makes us want to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to change the person I used to be. Not that I was great. I don't want to sound like condescending.
No, but you were
I'd be
you.
afraid I'd really mess myself up. I'd do something and also I turn into something.
Misinterpreting
I like what
myself.
God's done so far, so we just stick with that.
I love that.
Look
I
at
do.
spirituality.
I do. I love that. Does anybody want to add anything to that?
No, I just think that, yeah, I've had quite a few friends that have had problems and didn't know where to turn and that sort of thing. And I think the answer is always like you should consider trying to begin a relationship with God. But also, it's like, so this, like you said, this is a 50-year relationship
Yeah.
building process. There are a lot of people out there that either they don't make friends easily,
Yeah.
they've got personality problems, they're assholes,
This is
they're
true.
unlikable. There are a lot of people out there, but it doesn't mean that they don't deserve a chance, they don't deserve help.
Of course.
But they haven't done the things in life that bring people close to them and bring them close to people, so they don't have the support group. And I think the answer is always like, if you do just go to church, if you start praying, say, God help me. There's an old saying, there's no atheists in foxholes.
Oh,
Okay,
interesting.
those people are converted
Yes.
very quickly and very thoroughly.
Wow. That's just powerful. I mean, that imagery that you just put in there.
But,
Wow.
but it's
It's true.
It's a true thing. People, I don't believe it. Yeah, if you're in a foxhole, you would change.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's so true.
But yeah, I think that's always the answer. Is like God is always an answer. And frankly, if you do, you're like, I'm just going to give it a try. And you go to church, there are going to be people there that will befriend you, that will be
Yes.
kind to you, that will say, "How are you today?"
Yes. And mean it. And mean it.
And mean it. Yeah.
You know, there's
So
people that just
you can
check the
actually
box.
get the support group that you never earned yourself,
Right.
that you never developed yourself because of whatever reason, and you'll become humble and like, this person was nice to me.
Right.
Maybe I can be nice back, and maybe I can volunteer for that garage sale
Right.
at the
right.
church this weekend. And all of a sudden you develop a group of friendly, acquaintances that can be more.
There are a lot of ministries, a lot of support
Yeah.
groups at the church.
Yeah.
When I was a young man, right out of college, I was losing my faith. And my mom suggested, why don't you go over? There's a young adult group. And I rolled my eyes and thought, like a bunch of
Yeah.
holy rollers.
Yeah.
And I show up to the young adult group, and the guy welcomed me, put a beer in my hand. I'm like, wait a minute. This is great. But it was just, maybe that's just what I'm like, okay, these are just regular people.
They
like
gave him
me.
legitimacy.
It wasn't
They
like,
gave the group legitimacy.
yeah. It wasn't
something
you
that
know,
you can associate
just
with.
associate with, but it was just, then it was like a group of friends that, that I enjoyed being around. And you learn a little bit more about your faith at the same time.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we're going on these youth group retreats, helping out high school students and helping them out. And by helping out somebody else, as you know, you were helping yourself.
You do. You do. It's so.
And you feel
Wonderful.
something you can't
Wonderful.
feel any other way.
Yeah.
You can't get that feeling any other way.
But no,
No, and you don't do it to get that feeling for yourself.
No.
You do it because it's the right thing
it
to
just
do.
feels like it's the right thing to do.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, and try and live by the golden rule. Treat other people like you want to be treated. You want to see that dog, loving it on you. Well, you love on that dog, and you do. But let's do some fun stuff. Okay, this is I call the lightning round. How about a song that always lifts your mood? Got a song? Anybody?
Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Yes. Killing those English.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That has its-
So here's a fun song from the early 1990s, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh.
If you remember Breakfast at Tiffany's, it's a breakup song. And the guy's like, I hate when things are over, but the girlfriend's we have nothing in common. But then he remembers, he said, what about Breakfast at Tiffany's? The movie. and she says, yeah, I remember the film. And as I recall, we both kind of liked it. Well, that's one thing we got. And you're celebrating that one thing.
I love that.
So if you feel like you have nothing in common or things are going bad, my wife sometimes she makes fun of me. She goes, it's Pollyanna, here he comes, because I look at that one thing that is the positive and maybe a pile of junk.
Oh, I love that. I love that. How about if your friendship was a movie? what would the title be?
Undetermined.
Undetermined. Okay. Not the Terminator. No, I'm kidding.
No. Well, I was thinking Terminator, but like it's something like it's not done yet. You know, like it's still
Yeah.
going.
I love that. I love that. And so there's a part 2.
Yes.
Who's most likely to make everyone laugh when things get tense?
Any one of us.
Yeah, that's good.
Any one of us.
I'm thinking more you guys, but
I'm thinking us guys too. Because John, you are just funny at times. Like I get to have some fun times.
All right. In one sentence, what does brotherhood mean to you?
Being there for one another, the ability to be there for one another.
I love it.
yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Just
But that's for good and bad.
Of course.
Like it's not a lot of the stuff, it's like it's not just about support. It's
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
John, hey, we're going to Travel Fest. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't be there for you for that, John. But I'm gonna have a good time anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about being there for
Showing
each other,
up.
good times,
Yeah.
bad.
Just showing up, and that's wonderful. I got to thank you guys for all being with me here
Thank you,
today,
Serena.
and your strength and your lives and the connection and the honesty that you all have shared. It just warms my heart, and I can't thank you enough. And you have a lifetime of friendship and brotherhood, and that is so rare today. And I can't thank you enough for sharing what it means. And I usually end every show with a poem for my son, and I chose one that he wrote called Friends. But the way he puts a spin on it is far different from the friendship that you have here. So I'd like to share it with you. Friends, such a simple concept, yet they come and go like trends. I don't want to make amends, but some of these friends in tens are not always content. Real friends are those who don't only see you through one lens. People talk to me, say hi all the time. Sometimes they'll even gawk at me. I don't understand why fake friends exist, because everyone talks about those people the same way they do assist. Why do they feel the need to coexist with me? It just gets me pissed. Now I'm going to persist that someone explain to me why people insist on being a fist that hurls its way through me and eventually gets on my blacklist. So a lot of emotion in that, but coming from the younger generation today, I don't think they had that fist, pounding that your grandfather encouraged and all of that. It's a lot more hiding behind screens.
Yes.
Well, also, he was in high school at the
Yes.
time he wrote this.
Yeah.
And frankly, every day you're surrounded by 700 freaking kids.
Yeah.
And you're in a different class and these three, so you do have a lot more fleeting, meaningless things.
Yeah.
But you sometimes do like, oh, this person I really get along with. So he never had the chance to develop the 50-year relationship.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, he's observing all of the, friendliness and not so friendliness and
it's in reality, it's life. Not everyone is meant to be in your life your entire life. Like I've said, your friendship, the power of your friendship is a superpower. And I want the audience to know that these gentlemen are proof that if you put in the time and you put in the work and you are there for each other, that you too can have a century, if you live long enough, have a century or a century friendship.
John will.
Well, that's true. And read John's book. What's the name of that book again?
How Not to Die,
Yes.
Dr. Michael Greger.
And thank you all for joining us today on SOS Stories of Survivors. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. And I will see you next week with a new episode on SOS Stories of Survivors, where survival sparks the soul. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
us. God
Serena.
bless you all.